Today in this video we'll discuss entropy of a system. What is this entropy of a system? To say, I'll take two examples. My first example is, consider a system in three different cases. In case 1, all molecules are moving in the same direction with the same velocity. Here in case 1, I'm taking all are moving with same velocity as well as in the same direction. So direction of motion of all molecules is same. If you look at in the second case, here also all are traveling with same velocity, but direction is slightly different, but almost all are moving in the same direction. But when I look at the case number 3, all are moving in a random direction. So direction of motion of molecules is random. All molecules are moving randomly, even though their velocity is same. If I take velocity, may be same, may be different. Okay. So when we look at these three cases, we can say, as we come from case 1 to case 3, we find disorderness in the system. Okay, we find disorder in the system. This is considered to be more disorder than this. Now question arises, how to measure the disorderness in this system? How much disorderness is there in the system is the first question. How to measure this? And second question, so in the last video, discussing about heat engines and second law of thermodynamics, especially when I am dealing with the second law of thermodynamics, as I said, so whenever an engine absorbs Q1 amount of heat energy from the source, I do some work and remaining amount of energy is rejected to the sink. Okay, so remaining amount of energy is rejected to the sink. And it means from this it's clear that whatever energy the engine is absorbing is not converting complete absorbed energy into useful work. This also we have studied as a Kelvin statement. Means absorbed energy cannot be converted completely into useful work. No engine can convert absorbed energy completely into work, right? But question arises, how much energy is not available in the conversion of useful work, right? So that is, some amount of energy is not available for converting the work. But how much energy is unavailable? How much energy is unavailable for conversion into useful work is the second question. My first question is how to measure the disorderness in the system. Second, when a heat energy is converting into useful work, some energy is not available for conversion. Then how much energy is unavailable for conversion into useful work? To measure these two, we have a physical quantity called entropy. Therefore, today I can say entropy is a measure of disorder in the system, or entropy is a measure of unavailable energy for unavailable heat energy for conversion into useful work. Okay, next. But you know that this entropy cannot be conserved. It cannot be conserved because this can be created. This can be created but cannot be destroyed. Example, we can create disorderness in the system, but we cannot destroy the disorderness in the system. Hence, we can say it is not conserved. Okay. So next point, how to measure this? So from this it's clear that as compared to here, when I take the two cases, in one case all particles are traveling with the same velocity in the same direction. Second case, all are moving randomly but with the same velocity. As compared to this, so here entropy is more. That is, as randomness increases, entropy also increases. Right? Second, see how to measure. How to measure? It is found that whenever a system absorbs the heat energy, whenever a system absorbs a heat energy at a temperature T Kelvin. Suppose if I take it is a system. It is a system. It is a system. Okay. So it is at a temperature T. At this temperature T, if the system absorbs Q amount of heat energy, you know, whenever it absorbs Q amount of heat energy, then some amount is converted into useful work. But some amount of energy is not converted into work. That energy which is not converted into work, we are calling as entropy. Hence, as this Q increases, entropy also increases. Therefore, when a system at temperature T absorbs heat energy Q, then change in entropy of the system, delta S, indicates change in entropy of the system is equal to Q divided by T. This is the expression for change in entropy of the system. Keep in mind K is in Kelvin. This should be in Kelvin. Okay. Next, see, we know that whenever temperature, even though when system is absorbing the Q amount of heat energy, when temperature remains constant, then I can use this formula. But if whenever a system absorbs heat energy, if the temperature of the system changes, then what is the change in entropy of the system? It means T is variable. As Q changes, T also changes. As I told, when something is variable, to find out total, we have to go for integration. That is when temperature is variable, when in the process temperature is variable, when temperature is variable, then delta S, same formula, nothing is changed, delta S is equal to, I am writing Q divided by T. Okay, Q divided by T. So to find out the total, we have to put integration. We have to put integration. Here delta S is variable, so delta S initial Yes initial, it is yes final. Means entropy of the system initial, it is entropy of the system final. Here I said temperature is variable. It is a T initial, it is a T final. But we know that here whenever system is absorbing heat energy, Q is variable as well as T is variable. As you know, in the integration, when there are two variables, we cannot do. Hence, we have to either eliminate T or Q. And since I said temperature is variable, so we should keep T, but we have to remove Q. Well, removing Q, we have to keep in mind that we have to write Q in terms of T. Hence, since we know that in the last topic we have studied, whenever we provide heat energy to the body, if a temperature changes, then that Q can be written as M S into dt, ms into dt, where M means mass of the body or a system, S means a specific heat, delta T means a change in temperature. Then here we know that integration of delta S is S initial, it is S final, is equal to integration of T initial to T final. Q means I can write M S dt divided by T. When we apply the limits, it becomes S final minus S initial is equal to, you know, when integration we can take common constants out. As you know, when I giving the heat energy, mass of the system remains same, specific heat of the system remains same, so I can take outside. Then integration of T initial to T final, it is dt divided by T. You know, integration of 1 by T dt is nothing but ln. So here we can write in final specific heat entropy minus initial entropy is equal to M into S 1 by T dt. Integration is ln T, ln T, limits T initial to T final. So from here onwards it is mathematics. Okay, so specific heat final minus specific heat initial is equal to M S in a bracket ln T final minus ln T initial. It is like log A minus log B. Then finally we can write entropy final minus entropy initial. This gives change in entropy is equal to M S into ln. You know, ln A minus ln B is nothing but ln A by B. T final by T initial. Okay. So this you have to note down. It is one of the most important relation for our problems. See the next. So we know that what is a change in entropy of a system for different processes. Example for adiabatic process. See, for Adiabatic process. For adiabatic process, you know, in adiabatic process, the system neither receives heat energy nor give heat energy. It means for adiabatic process, Q is equal to 0. When this Q is equal to 0, then 0 by anything is 0. Then delta S is equal to 0. You know what do you mean by delta S? Change in entropy. Change in entropy is 0. Means there is no change in entropy of the system. No change in entropy of the system means conclusion is no change in entropy of the system means the entropy of the system remains constant. Entropy of the system remains constant. Therefore, remember, for adiabatic process, there is no change in entropy of the system. Okay, so this is our synopsis on entropy of the system, which is one of the smallest point in our topic, entropy. Okay, based on this, we have a very few questions. Example, in one of the book, the question was asked like this. So, question was like this. See, a system absorbs Q amount of heat energy at a temperature T and rejects Q dash amount of heat energy at a temperature T dash. Then what is the relation between the entropy in two different cases? What is the entropy in two different cases? So as we know that in this case entropy is Q divided by T. Q divided by T. Right? So this is a change in entropy here. Change in entropy of the system is Q dash by T dash. Okay. But you know that whenever it receives heat energy, then its entropy increases. Here its entropy decreases. Therefore, here it is taken as minus, here it is taken as plus. When I take these sum of these two, it is always greater than 0. In one of the book, this is the question. So, a system absorbs Q amount of heat energy at a temperature T and rejects Q dash amount of heat at a temperature T dash. Then what is the relation between change in entropy of the system in these two cases? This is answer. Okay, next question. Next question is a simple question. Consider our system. Water is our system. Alright? See, here we have water. It is water at 27 degrees Celsius. Now this water is heated. So that its temperature changes to same water at 87 degrees Celsius. Now, once again listen the question. Water is heated slowly from 27 degrees Celsius to 87 degrees Celsius. Then what is a change in entropy of water? What is change in entropy of water? If mass of water you can take say 100 gram. 100 gram. Question, what is the change in entropy of the system? Okay. See, you know here temperature is changing. Temperature is changing means I can use that formula, that is change in entropy of the system is equal to m s into ln T final by T initial, right? Okay, what is the mass of the system? 100 gram, but we should convert in kilogram. Okay, so in SI system, see this 100 gram can be written as 0.1 kilogram. As I told here, temperature should be in Kelvin, but this is in degree Celsius, it is also in degree Celsius. To write here we want in Kelvin, therefore see, you can write here T final is equal to, I said 87 degrees Celsius. Okay, to convert in Kelvin we should add 273. Tell me the answer. I think it is a 360 Kelvin, right? So T initial is equal to 27 degrees Celsius. To convert in Kelvin we have to add 273. Hope it is 300 Kelvin. Now you put these two here. Now mass is 0.1. Okay, just you substitute and simplify, try yourself. Keep the answer in a ln only, because in examination they may provide you value of ln. If not, the answers will be in terms of ln only. Okay, please substitute and simplify. See, change in entropy is equal to, here mass is 0.1 into specific heat of water is 4200 into ln T final is 360 degree divided by T initial is 300. Then it will be 420 ln, with the delta S. So you know this get cancels, it may be 1.2. Okay, just to observe yourself, it is 1.2. This is the answer. 420 ln 1.2 is the answer of this present problem. Check it. Okay, next question. Next question. See, now ice, say once again same mass, 100 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius is heated to convert into vapors at 100 degree Celsius. Question, what is the change in entropy of the system? What is the change in entropy of the system is the question, right? See exactly what is the method of solving this problem. Simple. First we have to analyze what exactly happens. If you look at the situation, this is the ice at 0 degree Celsius. When we heat this ice, when we provide heat energy, say Q1 amount of heat energy is provided. So then what happens here? This ice is at 0 degrees Celsius is converted into water at 0 degrees Celsius. Okay, remember here there is no change in temperature. So whenever we provide, say here Q2 amount of heat energy is provided, then now what happens? The temperature of water increases. Temperature of water increases. Now we have to provide heat energy, so that now water becomes, temperature of the water becomes 100 degrees Celsius, right? Now further when we heat, let Q3 amount of heat energy is provided, so that this water at 100 degrees Celsius becomes vapor at 100 degrees Celsius. Now here whenever I provide Q1 amount of heat energy, there is change in the entropy. Let change in the entropy in this case I'll call it as delta S1. When I provide Q2 amount of heat energy, means during this state, change in entropy of the system, say delta S2. When I provide Q3 amount of heat energy, there is a change in the state. Now change in entropy of the system is delta S3. Okay. Then question, what is the total change in the entropy of the system? As you know, it is delta S1 plus delta S2 plus delta S3. These are today's question. Let's start one by one. What is delta S1? Delta S1 is equal to, see here, during this process there is no change in temperature of the system. See, temperature here is 0 degrees Celsius, here also 0 degrees Celsius, means there is no change in temperature. When there is no change in temperature, formula is Q divided by T. So Q1 by T. So Q1 means, to convert ice into water, formula is M into L of ice. Temperature is, say, T. Here delta S1 is equal to, see, M means 100 gram. 100 gram means 0.1 kg. Into latent heat of ice is 80 calorie. But we want in joule. Therefore, multiplied by 4.2. Divided by temperature 0 degrees Celsius means 273 Kelvin. So better. So this much value 80 into 4.2 divided by 273. Try to remember, okay? Because it remains constant for all. Only we can change is mass. In examination, if they ask conversion from ice to water, definitely numbers this much remains same. Only where change is mass. That you try to remember, okay? So now you can call it as H, okay? I think it's whatever value you try to remember. Later is delta S2. Delta S2 is equal to, you know, there is a change in the temperature here. Whenever we provide heat energy, now there is a change in temperature. Whenever there is change in temperature, formula is Ms into delta T. Ms into, but here, okay, right, Ms into delta T. Delta T or whatever you say dt is left to you, right, divided by temperature. Sorry, not delta T, Ms into ln T final by T initial. Your mass is 100 gram means 0.1. Specific heat is 4200 Lan. Final temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius means 373 Kelvin divided by 273 Kelvin. Okay. Then simplify, you get your answer. That is 420 Lan 373 divided by 273. Finally, delta S3. Here also there is no change in temperature. Therefore, we can use first one. That is Q3 divided by T. It is M into L of steam divided by T. Means 0.1. You know, latent heat of vaporization is 540 divided by 373. It is in calorie. So to convert into joule, multiplied by 4.2. So this is a delta S3. Now to get the total change in entropy, delta S can be written as delta S1 plus delta S2 plus delta S3. Now you can substitute all values here, you get your answer. Remember, in examination they can ask any one here. In this problem I asked all three. Next, based on your option, you have to stop your calculation. So that's why what I am saying, try to remember 80 into 4.2 divided by 273. Use calculator and today try to remember this much calculation of this much portion. You must remember this. For that you must multiply the mass. Always in examination they will provide the mass in terms of this. That is at 0.1 or 10, 1, 10, like that only they will provide. Okay. So definitely in my opinion, if they ask in the change in the temperature, definitely answer will be in terms of Lan. Even though try to remember the value of 373 divided by 273 because it is fixed, right? Okay. So in next video we'll take only problems.